So, yeah. Always want, the knowledge to show. You know what I mean? Flag right there. Oh, you know what? Let me get a little book or something under here, y'all. So we don't perplex the flex and get vex. Yeah. Yo, strictly open. I said strictly open. All right, y'all. I'm gonna wait my 2 minutes like I do. I know I don't really do a Saturday show or something, but when you tell you when you're starting a business, and I'm gonna be honest, when you are starting a business, when you feel the impulsiveness, I was just saying this to Empress Trini. When you feel the impulsiveness when it comes to business, you just go ahead and do it. You gotta go ahead when you feel it. And one of the things I want to push and advertise is Palmer Fitness. I'm going to continue Palmer Fitness. If you live in the DMV area, Palmer Fitness, Palmer Fitness, Palmer Fitness, Palmer Fitness, Palmer Fitness. We're not here just to only get you in shape. I've been constantly going through this. I'm going to bring this up during my talk as well. Hold on. I think I want to use the fan. Palmer Fitness. Self-defense. Trust me, the stuff we've been putting on Instagram, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's nothing. We haven't been showing really nothing we really can do. We really just been pacing it and like inching and inching, you know what I mean, until we get to a point where we were like, you know what, let's go ahead and freak it on them. So you see that spear right there? Like I ain't even begin. That's what I'm saying. Like just trust and believe. What we've been showing y'all is just teases of talent that we know how to do. So anyway, Palmer Fitness is very essential. We're not there to just train you guys. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it got the same voltage as my plug right there. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Have respect. Have respect. I respect y'all. Yeah. So it's not just we not just there to work you out and get you in shape. Remember, I talk about the mental fitness as well. Should be coming on. It's on. I plugged it in. Hold on, guys.
It should come
Oh, it went off.
in. It did.
Oh. So it's about to come on now.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. Yeah. So we fixing our stuff now. So while we doing that, I want to read to you guys something. Where that green book? Oh. I want to read to you guys something because I've been going through this Earth Spell book and I have been dying really to dive in and break certain things down for you guys. And I wanted to give a better understanding on what I was talking about because I know y'all hear me. You're like, what the fuck is he talking about? The Mother Earth and all this extra type of stuff. Trust me. Trust and believe. I know. I know how you feel. How you feel, but we're not gonna act like turncoats. All right? We're not gonna act like turncoats. We ain't doing that. Um, but I do would like to dive into something. So if it goes longer than it should, then it goes longer than it should. I feel as though when we reasoning and we connecting with each other, it shouldn't really matter. You know what I mean about the duration of the time. It shouldn't really matter. Um, yeah. Let me put it back. Let me put it back this time. Because I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good this time, you know. So I'm gonna start with Rona. Hold on, y'all. My daughter just walked in. Mimi, come here. Come here. Let me take you. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and we're going to speak about these. Can we get a chair for mommy, please? Can you bring one of them chairs? Can we get a chair? Hold on, guys. You guys. Just hold on, y'all. Just bear with me. As you know, I came home from work and I was like, man, I ain't feel like this is actually a coat sweater, not an actual sweater. It's like a coat sweater because I could wear that and don't have to wear a coat. You know what I mean? We have our books and paperwork and things there. So just give me a sec. Give me a sec tech. All right, so let me turn this way. Hold on, y'all. Just give me a sec tech. All right. Yeah, I had to move some stuff. We got the projector over there. Yeah, move over. I gotta move this light over here. She's here.
I'm here.
She's here. So yeah, we got the projector right there. That white thing you see right there is the projector. And then you know my hat, you know, me and these hats, I love my hats. And my tools in there, some small tools and things in there. But yeah, I wanted to do that because let's check and see. So while we setting up where we are, now I get it. Now I see why the people on YouTube, I be getting frustrated. People on YouTube be, you know what? Let me wait until such and such. We get some more people up in. See, I guess you gotta set up
All that.
and do all this extra thing and thing. So while we setting it up and thing, yeah, I want to read some of these things. So if it carry on, it just carry on. Like I said, I don't care. I don't really have a duration or anything planned. I do know. Yo, you see my shirt, yo? So I try to use it. Dad, see, dads against daughters dating. Shoot the first one, and then it says the word will spread. Nolans. Y'all dads know what I'm saying. I like that shit. Again, dad, I'm promoting this shirt all day. I need to get this shirt. Dads against daughters dating. Shoot the first one. The word will spread. All right. You know what? Let me move this back. Move this back. Yes. Yes. Yeah. So the reason I always bring up this book, Earth Spill book, and and I know y'all hear me talking them up and stuff like I was saying before, but I also understand that sometimes things may need to be explained in depth more instead of just as a broad statement. So there was no perfect time. Listen, if you in the DMV, you ain't got shit else to do. It's cold outside.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not in the DMV and you have something to do, that's fine. But in the midst of you doing that, tap in every now and again. Tap in. Tap in. In the midst of what's going on in Europe, is that Europe? What are you? Ukraine and Russia?
Right, yeah.
I'm gonna be very honest. I don't know about that type of, because I know my people went through, like, they didn't have to send their wives or husbands and daughters away. Like, they was just literally getting gutted and taken out. So I don't really understand, that right there, but it's still fucked up because it's people fighting people. Oh, about to come on. It's people fighting people. And I'm gonna get to the book. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to the book. I just need, once Empress Trini phone cut on, babe.
Mhm.
Babe, once your phone cut on and she get the Instagram start, I could do, because I don't want to read the book without that. So what I'm gonna do is get up for like 2 seconds, and Empress Trini gonna tell you whatever she got to tell you, because I'm coming right back.
Oh, I'm still trying to
Yeah, you can
get
tell them.
to where we left off at with the bloodlines. I'm trying to remember. So, did I give some information for you? I know. I know, yes. My eyes is very red. Are you familiar with Jim Beam? Yeah. So I hope y'all are enjoying your weekend safely. I'm still looking. We left off with the Collins family, and I believe I was about to tell you all about,
You want to check the rice? I just went in there straight.
yeah, tell you all about the businesses and endeavors that they in.
So yeah, she's gonna do that. We doing some Saturday cooking too, y'all. Ain't you? Yo, when we was younger, moms would be like, Friday and Saturday I ain't cooking. Y'all on your own. And then Sunday cook, Sunday, then Tuesday, then maybe Thursday, but Friday and Saturday you on your own, bruh. But we decided, we started our own tradition, and we do cook on Saturdays. There are occasions where we're like, no, we ain't about to do that. You know what I mean? But we do cook on Saturdays. That way we ain't got to do it on Sunday. But what Empress said, we gonna do that, and yeah, we're gonna do that, and we're gonna get to it. In a minute, she set up what she have to set up. But in the meantime, while she's doing that, I do gotta tell you guys, she right there. Don't worry, she ain't gonna. I am going to go through the book, not all of it, certain aspects, and I'm going to break it down. And we're also going to go through some of these bloodlines so you can understand. Is that understood, babe? You think they understood it?
I think so. I believe so. I hope so. Okay, so
So, babe,
yeah.
how did you come up into this knowledge?
What knowledge?
The knowledge that we have. We're actually interviewing.
My metaphysical knowledge?
Yeah.
I will have to say that I was led into this direction by my husband.
Well, aside from me, did you feel a calling? Was there something in you that wanted to
Well,
explore outside of what you do?
well, I've always knew that there was something more. And I just never could get with like church teachings, I guess, if you want to say. So outside of those limited beliefs that religions put on you, and when I say religion, I definitely mean church, occults, not God. But those limited beliefs, I wasn't with it, and I just had to seek outside of it. And seeking outside of it, I found me. And I learned a lot.
What did you what when you said you discovered? So okay, I guess the better question is, yes, I'm doing an interview with her first before I think I love doing this. In the process of you opening up your mind to that, right? What inspired you to say, you know what? This is the path that I should be taking in the first place. What inside of you? It could be metaphysical, they ain't dumb. Like what in Trini said, you know what? I'm about to research this more. I am about to live this.
Wow. Just off the spot. Do it look like I'm in interview mode? What in me sparked the light?
This is where all the truth come out.
Mm-hmm. Being too overwhelmed.
Okay.
Being lost.
Okay.
That's what sparked the light. I had to find my way back.
Trying to find my way back to you, baby. Trying to find my way back. So I had to do that because that is exactly what did it for me. Like when I was younger, we always lost. When you're at that young age, you're at a point where you're trying to find yourself and you have like 9 different personalities, but those are yours. And instead of just saying all of them are me, you try to like fight with them and you like, well, I want to be this way and I want to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
And you see things that you influenced by and you're like, well, no, I'm gonna tackle on this and then I'm gonna tackle on that. Um um I could say it was a loss and at the same time it was a urge for more finding.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm gonna stop. So I am going to dab in this because this is going to explain that. So when she busts your ass, that's what Trini like to do. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about the Empress that y'all ain't know. She has a way of making you question things that you were supposed to question just by reading something and asking you a question. And it's not the question, it's how she asks you the question, I'm serious, Oh gosh, a small little. I'm serious, All right. Trinitas have a way of making you think of things. Trini has a way of making you question yourself about things you should have questioned, right? Just by her reading and asking it to you in a way that you have to think about it. So before she busts your ass with that, let me go into this because, like I said, I was saying earlier, I know I be talking about this book a lot, and I be saying the mother, the father of manifestation, and the mother of all, and Mother Earth, and I like, what are you talking about? Like, can you make? And I know sometimes we need more of an in-depth explanation. So you see the book here. You see the
Earth
book here.
spell.
Okay. So what I'm going to start off with is called the Rona Locas. Rona Locas meaning the gold light spirits. The gold light spirits, particularly, it will mean the black people of Earth. Rona Locas. Ronallokas. So it's called the Rona Locas Journey to Earth. I'm going to spell it again. Ronallokas. The go light spirit. Rona Locas means go light spirits, which will mean the black people of Earth, the dark skinned people of Earth. So it goes, just hear me out, and we're gonna bust it up, okay? It says the Rona Locas were moving away from me meaning God, the creator. Although they felt uncomfortable with my light, watching them, most of them soon wished they had not left the only home they had known in their manifested existence. Okay? Hold on. I got you. The life that had seemed so unpleasant because of their rejection they had been receiving began to look heavenly compared to what they were going into. Hold on. The Rona Locas already felt torn, as though everything they decided to do had another side to it that made them feel like opposing their own decisions. They had a desire to look back at the heavens, which now appeared to them like a beacon in the sky. But at the same time, they did not want to look back for fear of what they might see and feel. Some even felt they could hear the other spirits celebrating their departure. Pause. In yourself, okay? Listen to me, people. In yourself, whether you at home partying or you just trying to unwind or whatever the thing it is, just hear. Because you need to be seen as well. In yourself, when you are experiencing, and I'm going to go through it again. When you are experiencing yourself opposing your decisions, and what do I mean? Should I? Shouldn't I? Should I wait? I can't wait. Is this? I don't know. Maybe I'll wait till later. Should I call them right now or should I wait? Do I want to put that in the oven or do I want to do this first before I put that in the oven? Do I want to take this meeting now? Or you see that? You're already opposing yourself. You're already on opposite sides of you. Automatically. You're on opposite sides of you. So what else happens is there's another part of you that feels like once you're going through this, there's another part deep down to see the side of you that's like, shit, they glad that's going through this. Stop acting like you don't hear those voices in your mind. Some of it laughs at you when you do shit. Some of it talks to you and explains to you you shouldn't do things. That is not the little devil or angel. If you want to say that to make you feel better, good, that is not, that's you. You have to stop this denial about your own gifts, about your own potential. Because what that does is that draws you back and puts you back down into you opposing yourself. You're on the opposing side of you. So let's go on. Although it was easier for the Rona Locas, and I told you the Rona Locas, Ronalokas, Locas, sound like Loki, right? The Rona Locas are the gold light spirits, which will be the black people of Earth, the dark-skinned people of Earth. Although it was easier for the Rona Locas to insist they had wanted to go rather than face the other feelings they had here, none of the Rona Locas really liked it that I was allowing them to go. They really wanted me to see through their bravado, grab a hold of them, no matter how much they fought me, insist they had to stay with me and make them feel like they really belonged in creation. They had a feeling I was not going to do this, but they hoped that I would. When you hear me, it is talking about the Creator. I explained to you guys, the self is God, the will is the mother of all. Then you have the Father of manifestation. And these three here is your Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. But they wanted to erase the mother, so they put Holy Spirit. They wanted to erase the Father manifestation, so they put the Son. Yes, the Creator have gave birth to the Father manifestation through the mother of all, the mother of creation. You guys got the Bible and all these other spiritual books confused, and you're not looking at it metaphysically. You cannot erase the woman, because two men cannot make a woman. They cannot birth a child. I don't care what science project you put together. If you want to be upset at me, you can call me. We can have this conversation later on. Let's move on. As I was saying, the Creator. We only 26 minutes in. So just calm yourself down. The Creator and the mother were at friction. Now that you're getting a better understanding, the gold light spirit, there was other spirits created before them, but the gold light spirits, they wanted to go down to earth with the mother because they felt they needed the mother's love. They wanted to embrace that will. They wanted to know why they wasn't receiving it. So he let them go. At the same time, he kept an eye on them. You didn't hear when it said in the heavens, it became like a beacon. Beacon meaning it looks like a star. When they look up, it looks like a star. So if you go back to the Dogon tribe, and the Dogon tribe is like, that's where we're from. Those are the heavens. What they point to you there, that Sirius B is the heavens. That is the beacon in the sky.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
You go check the rice. It's not burned. We don't burn food. So when that happens, I told you when we fell into this dense physical state, we became unconscious of who we were. That's why they always say, know thyself. Okay. The further they floated away from me, the more they began to feel like they were being swept away. The ethers began to be stirred into a great wind. A great wind. I always play around and say wind instead of wind. A great wind. As though the Rona Locas were caught in a current during a storm at sea. The ethers around them were so charged with held emotions, they were making sounds. The Rona Locas did not like to notice. See, they were making sounds that the Rona Locas did not like to notice. Many of them did not want to look back for fear they would see my light was sweeping them from the heavens and out into the darkness of space. Now, when you think of the ethers, when it talks about the ethers and the current coming as a storm, you think of a cosmic storm, don't you? That's exactly what it was. Guys, this is a cosmic thing. This is not a physical thing. This is not a human thing. This is not an earthly thing. But earth is where creation is. This is why earth is so important. Y'all been scrambling, going through your religious books, wondering why the angels and the demons and the stuff, they hate us so much on earth, and they always try to figure out why God loves this place on, because it's Mother Earth. because this place is the mother. This is his love. Where his love is, that's what he loves the most, because he left his number one love, which was the mother, and it is earth. He is never going to leave it. The mother is not going to allow you to go up into space, go to Mars, or whatever the fuck you think you're going to go at, excuse my French, wherever the heck you think you're going to go, because she's going to bring you back down until you accept your will. I'm going to keep reading on because you act like you don't hear me. The ethers around were so charged and withheld emotion, they were making sounds the Rona Locas did not like to notice. Many of them did not want to look back for fear they would see my light sweeping them from the heavens and into the darkness of space. Already the Rona Locas feared that giving in to how they felt, giving in to how they felt, giving into how they felt would cause them to collapse in on themselves. This goes back to men feeling like if you give into your emotion and tap into the feminine part of yourself, I'm talking about the masculine principle and the feminine principle, tapping into your emotions, you feel like you're going to sink into yourself because that's not manly. That's not manly. Yeah? It's not manly. To feel this way, it's not manly. To be this way and express this way, it's not manly. It's not. You're denying that other part of yourself. So now you created a storm within the ethers of yourself. You created a storm, and I told you, all this you feel, when this be moving and this be feeling funny, that is your will denial that you are doing. It has nothing to do with a sickness. It has nothing to do with anything medical. It is all spiritual and cosmic. I am telling you, that is you trying to wake up because you refuse to tap into you. And what happens is when you do that and you keep getting on your knees and praying to something that really is you and not praying to you and enhancing you, you push yourself back down. That funny feeling you feeling in here is not the Holy Spirit. It is denial. And you need to know the truth. No one has been able to tell you that. I'm telling you now. I was just telling them that funny feeling that they feeling down there, it is not the Holy Spirit. They've been lying to you. It is denial. You need to express yourself. You need to tell yourself that you're going through. I said it already. All this here that you're going through, who that? Peace. Peace. Which D?
N-A.
Oh, from PTO? No. Who? I don't know. Oh, D. D, what the fuck going on, man?
N-A. You still
D, what the hell going on? I'm about to. What the hell, man? He follow me?
Yeah, I think so.
Don't do that shit. All right, so now that's my brother. That's my brother right there, yo. He be nah, don't fucking do that. You know we family. So what happens is, so what so what happens is when you get that funny feeling, you thinking it's the Holy Ghost by you kneeling and praying, that's you denying yourself again. You refuse the mother. That feminine principle within you, you excluded it. You want to kill it because you think feeling that emotion and shit is fucked up. Why do you think now there's the age that we're living in now, there's a promotion for expressing how you feel, being your true self, coming out? That is the mother now. She's speaking now. The mother is speaking now. And you can't run from it. Now you have to face what you have been denying, which was you. Let me read on before you dudes get fucked up. So, they struggle to resist this feeling because its meaning for them was that there was no life ahead of them that was going to feel good. Now, hold on. In spite of their resistance, the Rona Locas, the Go Light spirits, could feel themselves being compressed anyway, not only against each other, but within themselves. Because of that denial, they began to feel compressed. You began to feel compressed. And what else is said? You began to feel compressed and away. You began to feel compressed away. And also, you began to feel yourself against each other. You see black people at war with each other and yourself because of self-hatred. I fucked you up. Excuse my French. I messed your head up right now because I explained to you why you are mad at each other. I explained to you why. I just did it. You began to now have friction with each other. And now you have friction with you hate yourself so much. You want to be something else because you can't stand to look at that person because you were trained in this dense physical state. You became unconscious and forgot who you were when you were not here. Yes, I said it. You see, you ever get the feeling that you're doing this shit again?
Yeah.
Like you wasn't only here, you didn't just have this experience. This is why. It's called being unconscious. Think of you getting knocked out, and I explained this last show. Think of you being knocked out in the back of your head. You unconscious. You gotta wake up yourself, right? But once you do, I want you to be careful. Once you do, keep it to yourself. Because if you're astral projecting, or if you're doing things that the normal human body, that they say the normal human body shouldn't do, then you have to be very careful within your steps. You have to be very stealthy. Let's move on. From my point of view, the Rona Locas were shrinking together and down into themselves as though they were afraid a great hand was about to strike them. You know when a child, you know when you're about to hit a child or a dog, they do this? That's what they mean by shrinking into them like that. I'm going to tell you how we ended up on Earth. Shrinking together and going down into themselves as though they were afraid a great hand was about to strike them. At the time, I did not know why I received that impression, but I felt something akin to what a parent feels when he sees a small child shrinking in fear of his punishment. What I just say? What I just say when you're about to strike a child? Up. I did not feel like I was punishing the Rona Locas, but I felt I could not align with them enough to get a hold of them. I could not understand how it was possible for them to move back every time my light reached for them and not appear to notice. I hesitated to try to reach them anymore because every attempt had moved them further from me. I did not know I had a gap. They feared, but I could see they were making one for themselves by backing up. Let me explain that. What the fuck is he talking about? What are you talking about? I told you this was a cosmic thing. The same way the creator, just hear me out, the same way the creator and the mother gave birth to the planets and the spirits around. I'll do another one on Lucifer. I'm going to kill y'all with that. I'm going to kill y'all. Going to be so shocked. You're going to be, what? I didn't ever know. Right. But when they created these spirits, think of it like this. Two parents have children. And all of these children are not going to be on board with their discipline. They all have their own mind and their own personalities. Think of your family. They don't understand you and how you are. You understand what I'm saying? They may not get who you fully are, what you're fully capable of, because at the time when they were supposed to be that kind of a parent, at that time when they were supposed to be that kind of a parent. They couldn't be because of, we came up during the 80s, you know, we came up during the early 80s, some of us the early 90s, you understand? And during around that time, you guys know. So it becomes this friction with the parent and the child. And it's like, I don't want to listen to you because I don't feel like what you're doing is right. Look at how you treat him. Look at how you treat her. You don't treat me that way. You've never done that with me when I was little. So I'm not, but that is the same thing the creator is going through. You have been lied to in your religion. The creator goes through the same thing and the same problems that husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend have is the same thing the creator and the mother go through with their children. And that is the same thing we go through with our kids and with your kids. You know why you go through that? Because that, what you go through with them, that is the real life creator and mother. All you're doing is repeating the experience that they are having with their children with yours. You have been duped into denial and suppression and compression into kneeling down and praying into something that's going to keep you docile, knowing that everything you're going through in your household is exactly what the Creator is going through with us. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I right or am I wrong?
Dude,
I say, am I right or am I wrong?
Jim.
All right, my bad. You know what? I'm gonna have it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it
ain't working for
ain't
me.
working. I got the.
No.
Come on, y'all. I'm way back here. I got the. She hit me with the Jimmy. I gotta.
I told them earlier.
I told her.
Didn't I tell y'all?
We only 40 minutes in. So I felt there was danger on both sides here because space was being open, which my light was not able to fill. And this gap was being filled with a terrible wind. I was holding back many feelings then. You know what? Check this out. Because y'all pissing me off. Check this out. Check this out. I'm going to skip ahead. I want y'all to hear this real quick. The Rona Locas who most hated these feelings did their best to turn themselves into stone. Like the warriors. I told y'all about the father warriors. If you've been following my channel, you already know what the father warriors are. They are the reptilians, but they are the more ones with the arms and the leg. But you would never know. You would never believe if I told you we was related to them. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know that. Yo, what the fuck is this dude talking about? What the heck is this dude talking about? You know what he's talking. This dude is going crazy. I'm not. You need to read. You need to analyze. You really need to know what. When people say cosmic beings, you really need to know what that means. So anyway, the father warriors, like the warriors had ever since this time had moved against the other Rona Locas with a hatred towards fear as though they were warriors. Yet they have been even more cruel toward the Rona Locas than the warriors have been. Turncoats turncoats, you might call them, but it is almost impossible to recognize them now as the Rona Locas they were then. The Rona Locas did not know what to do. Nothing they tried gave them any relief. They tried to turn away from the outer terribleness and find any place of escape within their own consciousness that they could. They clutched at the they clutched at the faint hope that somehow this had all been a terrible mistake, that I would suddenly take pity on my poor children. They hoped I would see through the facade of all they had given me, reach after them and lift them up after all. They hoped and prayed so fervently for me to rescue them, that something did lift out of them that has never yet been born on earth. And when it did, the Rona Locas were left with even less light than they had. That's Buddha. Buddha out.
Okay. All right.
So,
all right. Go.
You know where I read that?
Right.
When people have been saying, you have to understand what spiritual subliminal messages is. If you watch a TV show or stand-up comedy or someone next to you or anything go, and you hear something like, God ain't coming back for us. Ain't nobody coming for us. They don't know why they said it. Their subconscious does, but they don't know why they said it. But I just read it. That is the truth. You have to wake. You have to stop being unconscious. And once you really be conscious doesn't mean putting on a dashiki and being like, yo, but no. You really being conscious. Really being conscious of who you are. Y'all have this word. Hold on. Really being conscious of who you are means the inner you, above and below, and you're addressing it, and you're accepting it, and you're embracing it, and you're living it, and you're letting it come out. Only then everything you want on this physical plane you will get until you accept the higher and the lower, the yin and the yang, the light and the dark. You have to, the self and the will. Guilt is a spirit that you have to kill. You don't need guilt. You don't need guilt. Don't you see every day on TV? They're smart. They know about this shit too. They know about this shit. That's why they always talking about guilt, 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 guilt. You always hear that word on TV. Guilt, 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 guilt. They want you to be in guilt. Guilt is a spirit. It is not just a word. It is a spirit. And once guilt comes into your mind, it stays there. It wants you to feel that way. You have to kill guilt. You did something? Yes.
That's
Accept it,
yeah,
and heal. You only heal by accepting it. After you accept it, move the fuck on. Excuse my language. Move the hell on. There's nothing wrong with you. Do not allow someone to tell you that there is. If you go to a psychiatrist, I'm going to be honest with you, go to express yourself. Do not go to heal, because you have to do the healing. But you only can do the healing after you express your higher and your lower. You have to express mainly, not your light. You mainly have to express your dark, because that's what's needed to be accepted. The dark is the feminine, and she wants you to embrace her. Stop being a jerk. You're not a man unless you accept both. You're not a woman unless you accept both. You are not all unless you accept both. Do you understand what I'm saying? No, you don't. So hold on. Oh, you thought I was done with you. We have a great fear. We are now moving of allowing this to happen and of what it will mean for all of us. We have as well a great rage toward lost will. I was just talking about that. Toward lost will that does not want to move now. We also have these feelings toward my lost light, which is not allowing the will to move. But we have no recourse other than to move what we can now and allow the rest to move later. So what you are able to get past, that's what that means. What you are able to get past, let it get past. And what you're not, you'll deal with that later. But the other stuff that you know is easy to let go, just dump it. Get rid of it so you can deal with the big shit. The feelings that were held in a state of denial in the 1960s made the protesters look very self-righteous from one point of view, but it also allowed many to look like they were protesting against things they really weren't all that against. In terms of where they lost will was located in the spectrum of things. Many spirits who even had their parental parts lined up with the movement in the 1960s look more like the fragments themselves in view of the amount of lost will they had in a state of denial that was actually promoting the very things they were protesting against. Doesn't that sound very hypocritical? So now, you were protesting against this. And in the midst of your protests, you began to protest against your own protest. And don't you see that fast forward? That's happening now again. Lost will. You're so scared. I don't care. I'm going to keep it real. Black and white people, there's certain black people and there's certain white people, I'm going to keep it real, that have a lack of empathy and sympathy for their loved ones and in general. For their kids, I'm saying it, for their kids, for their loved ones in general. You've been around a person and they have said the word, I love you or I care, right? But when you look at them and look in their eyes, you can tell that they don't feel it. It is just words. They don't feel it. Something in them is denying or fighting the emotion of actually accepting love, that when they say it out of their mouth, they actually can feel it and they mean it. I love my family, yo. I love my family. It's not what I'm saying. I feel that shit. You know why? Because if I didn't, I'd be out there every fucking day, partying, clubbing, all of that shit. Just to think of one day or 1 week or one moment gone away from them, it will drive me freaking crazy. That's how I know. When I say I love my family, I feel, I know it. When I see certain black families and white families, I'm keeping it real. I'm telling, I don't know about the other races because I've only been here in America and we've only been, I'm about to get to that now, and I've only been dealing with the status of a color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I have not taken the time to get to know the other cultures and nationalities in America, because on the application, every nationality is there except us. There's black and white. Y'all also are being disrespected and act like you don't even see it, which I'm gonna go back to the empathy and sympathy.
Mm-hmm.
You deny that part so much that the only time white people really feel empathy and sympathy is when they are in trouble.
When it affects them.
When it affects them. Same thing for certain black people. Listen to me. No one is, let me tell you something right now. When I speak, I'm not a dumbass. You understand? I'm very well educated. I understand there is a lot of people other than me. And when I say me, I'm talking about my people who be doing dumb shit. And I address it all. If you know me, you know I don't like one, I don't like all. Fuck that shit. My wife could tell you. Empress Crinny could tell you. I don't like people. But for some reason, I love helping. I love helping you guys. Let me tell you something. It's not going to be a day that passed by that I'm not going to feel like helping you guys. I'm always going to want to do that. I'm always going to want to train. I'm always going to want to teach. After I do that, leave me the fuck alone. Excuse my language. That's how I am. Like helping you? No, get away. No. But I love you though. I do. Once you are successful, that means I'm successful. I don't know why. I always feel like that. Y'all success is our success. And we feel like that's payment enough. That's why when it comes to this boxing and kickboxing and kung fu, I'm very serious and I'm very emotional about it because every time I see on Instagram and Facebook, it's commercialized. Stop doing that. You men and you women out there are just looking for a photo op to show your bodies. You're not really into it like that. I am into it. Yes, Buddha?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm coming.
So, in saying that, let me finish, guys, please. Lost will turns against that which has denied, lost will turns against that which has denied it in most cases, but whether this manifests as hatred or not is dependent on Lucifer's presence. Lucifer was behind the squashing of the movement in the 1960s and has remained militantly against it unless it takes the form of something he can control, such as affirmative action through the processes already available or internalizing the struggle according to his prescription. Hold on. The lost will gives the guilt reflection, but it cannot move the emotions that need to move the guilt out. Neither is the lost will reflection conscious of holding the denials or garbage of the ones doing the denying, and yet when it seeks to reverse the self-righteousness in these denials, it often seeks the garbage on these people in order to discredit them. You can see from what is happening in the 1980s that the guilt reflection is trying to reverse all the gains the 1960s hoped had been made. One of the ways the guilt reflection is gaining popularity for its viewpoint is by making it appear that the protesters for social change in the 1960s was either very naive, wrong, or had nothing real to offer. These people are now, for the most part, being portrayed as mindlessly immature, drug crazed, sexually promiscuous, originators of the destruction of the moral fiber of America, and originator of epidemics of sexual and drug related diseases. Fast forward. Ain't they saying that about us now? In the 60s, all of y'all in the 60s during the hippie movement, all of y'all are my elders. I'm not, when I say elders, I'm not saying old people. I'm saying elders as y'all was here before us going through it in the 60s. So you are my elder, you are my older brother and sisters. So for my elders who went through it in the 60s, okay, because we 80s, when y'all went through it, you see it's happening again. We're just only in a digital age with cell phones and cameras and bullshit like that. But in the 60s, when y'all went through it, they said that about y'all, and they're saying about us now. Drug craze, sexually promiscuous, this, that, and the third. Because we understand that people do not realize what sex is. And we're going to do a episode on that. Tuesday, we're going to talk about that. Okay. Because this right here, I was supposed to talk about Tuesday, but Tuesday we're going to talk about sex and what it really is. And Trini has a good a thing that she was talking about with sex already, but because we're doing it on our podcast, we're going to go a little more in depth. And you guys need to understand and understand what sex really is. So anyway, for my elders, fast forward, they're saying that about us now. Because They have been stopping us from wanting to feel the emotion and embrace of a man and a woman, of feeling that sexual chemistry and energy. And the reason that is because sex is spiritual. It's cosmic. How is that cosmic? Because the mother of all and the father, the creator, they constantly have sex. Their orgasm birth the planets. Their orgasm birth the galaxies. Their orgasm birth the spirits. Their orgasm birth your bitch ass. Excuse my language. Orgasm is creation. So when you look at it as a man or a woman or whatever, listen, I don't know if you're gay. If you are, that's you. I'm talking about orgasm. When you have an orgasm in the physical sense, okay, it creates things. It creates things in you. It enhances things. You manifest a lot of things in an orgasmic sense, okay?
Especially when your intention is there.
And anything could be orgasm. I'm not talking only, ejaculation. Stop. Bounce. Leave. I'm about to get deep. Out. Not in this. Have respect. Have respect. I don't lie to my kids. Have respect. Bounce. But I know when they get too deep, they gotta bounce. Have respect. I don't play that shit. Don't do that. So, in the midst of sex, we might as well just dive into it now, I guess. In the midst of sex, the orgasm, and anything is orgasm. A massage could create a body orgasm. This mental orgasm, eating a foodgasm. People feel like, oh, this is a foodgasm. Subconsciously, they know why they're saying that. Oh my God, this just enhanced something in my endorphin. Oh my gosh.
Like that pineal said, poof.
The orgasm, your physical orgasm is also a cosmic orgasm. Do you know how much things you are creating out there when you have that orgasm? We will get into that deeper Tuesday. The creation process in your body and mind, it enhances all of your potential, but it's leading you back into consciousness. Now, before Trini busts your ass, let me just read this last thing. The warriors, and I told you the father warriors. If you don't know who the father warriors, you weren't wrong about the reptilians, but what you were wrong about is the reptilians are related to us. They're related to go-light spirits, the seraphims, the cherubims, Lucifer, you know what I'm saying, the rainbow spirits, the ancient one. We are all related. I will go through that Tuesday when I'm dealing with the sex and the orgasm. The father warriors are your elites, are your ones controlling and running the government. Okay? It's your black pope, your white pope, your gray pope. I don't mean in skin color. The warriors, of course, are portraying themselves as struggling to fix the mess created by the 1960s movement. As the reflection goes on without understanding to heal it, the 1980s are seeing drugs introduced to obliterate consciousness rather than expand it. Sexual freedom has increasingly become lasciviousness, cheap thrills, and a lack of responsibility for children and even other adults involved. The reawakening of sensitivity has become central saturation, bordering on complete boredom, and love has become more of a word to throw around. when selling products than anything real being felt by most people. The word love is also being used by people trying to sell themselves as loving more often than love is being felt by any of them. Now, I didn't even read this part. This is where I bookmarked. I didn't even read this part. Licentious. Licentiousness.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even read this part. I'm reading it now with y'all. And I just finished saying all of this. The lack of empathy and sympathy that is not felt and is just being thrown around.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I can control the world now because I don't feel it. Go ahead. Can you read? You good? You good? You good? All right.
I think Jim.
I mean,
I think he got me.
I mean.
Okay, so getting into what the Collins businesses are and what they control and what they get into.
The Collins, y'all.
Remember, we did the Astors, we
Yeah.
did the Bundys, now we're on the Collins. Go watch the other episode so you can catch up. Quite a number of Collins have been well to do. The wealthiest Collins that I have discovered so far is Matthew Garrett Collins, 1874 to 1925. Matthew Garrett Collins was an oil producer. His father was Oliver Cromwell Collins, named after Oliver Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell was the early Mason who was paid off by the Amsterdam Jews to allow the Jews back into England. Matthew Garrett Collins was a Mason. M.G. Collins manufactured silk and in 10 years took the operation in 1886 from nothing to a $2 million business. He was president of Interstate Gasoline Company. He worked with several other big oil men, such as Governor Charles Haskell of Oklahoma. He was trustee for Drew Seminary. He participated in the Methodist Church. Matthew Garrett Collins' oil operations and friendship with the governor of Oklahoma are very significant. Inside information indicates some type of connection between the Collins family and Oklahoma, and Tulsa is a major headquarters for Satanism in that area.
I didn't even know that.
There are a number of buildings that the Satanists own in the Tulsa area that are used for their operations. Besides Matthew Garrett Collins, there have been a number of other wealthy Collins, such as Theodore Clyde Collins Jr., insurance company executive banker, president of, and it don't even say, Arthur Fletcher Collins Real Estate Corporation executive.
Hold on. It said, she said, Theodore Clyde Collins Jr., right? Insurance and executive banker, president of. It said the president of, etc., etc.
Right.
So whatever you could think of banking, he is the president of.
Etc.
Etc. Go ahead.
Henry James Collins III, insurance company executive treasurer of several financial organizations. J. Barclay Collins II, oil company executive lawyer, director of trustee of a hospital. Leroy Collins Jr., banker, director of president of some organizations, which they do not name. John Roger Collins, aerospace company, executive, banker, economist, trustee. Wow. Director and VP of a number of organizations, which they don't say either. John Paul Collins, banker, director of Rothschild City Corp.
Rothschild City Corp.
He's a director of another elite company, but okay. Rothschild City Corp Research Corporation, plus trustee of a hospital, besides holding other. You did that.
No, I didn't.
Is one of the girls. Buddha.
Who is that? Buddha?
Uh-huh.
Okay, go ahead.
Where was I? John Paul Collins, banker, director of Rothschild City Corp Research Corporation, plus trustee of a hospital, besides holding other leading positions in a number of other organizations. And finally, Michael James Collins, not the astronaut who has been in other organizations. And finally, Michael James Collins, oh, not the astronaut. He's been investment company executive plus, to name a few items, President Fidelity Union Life Insurance.
Fidelity Life Insurance, guys.
President Alliance Investment Corporation. President Collins Capital, Dallas Trustee. So much. Director, VP of the Carl P. Collins Foundation. None of these men gave information concerning any church affiliation. With the other Collins, usually if they do not have a church affiliation, it is Episcopalian. The Collins family also built the world's fastest, nicest ocean-going ships during the 1850s, for which they spared no expense. The Collins lost a number of ships to natural sea disasters. And after the financial panic of 1857, the Collins got out of shipping and directed their attention to coal and iron. They had a home on Madison Avenue, New York. One of the Collins, who is clearly descended from the old New England family, is the Bacon Atwood Collins, 1851-1926, who graduated from Yale in 1873. One line of Collins that were descended from the old New England family were the father and son who gave their names to several locations in western U.S. Fort Collins is a name after William Oliver Collins, a descendant of Edward Collins who arrived in Boston for England in 1630. And Casper, Wyoming, is named after William O. Collins' son, Casper Collins. Casper Collins died fighting Indians. And so this family line died out.
When you finish this right here, I want you to go in the chapters and find the stuff they be doing. Yes, because when you finish this, I'm about to bust that up.
William Oliver Collins' family were well-to-do Episcopalians. Collins had originally gone to law school, then became a senator, and then was made a colonial by the Secretary of War at the outbreak of the Civil War. Because the U.S. troops in the far west were widely dispersed, the rank of colonel was a very high rank to hold in the Western territories during the Civil War. Now, this article will list a few Collins who I suspect may have been connected to the Illuminati in their time. I will read the list.
Read the list. You guys need to hear the list. Before I go, you're going to hear the list. Go ahead, man. They all right. Shit, they ain't got shit else to do. What they going to do? Drinking what? We drinking together.
I'm not reading the list. Y'all go and find out.
Oh, y'all going to find the list. All right, so look. These names, I know y'all heard the end date 1925. That doesn't mean that their families aren't continuously doing it, because remember, it's a bloodline. So their families are still running these banks, running these corporations. You know, Fidelity, they always have a commercial. I think Liberty is under them too. Liberty. I always do.
I think that's under Bundy.
Liberty, that's under Bundy. Okay.
I think.
We'll find out. But I read to you already. We went through that first part. This is why they act like that. Their denial. The father warriors, these are the father warriors. These are your reptilians. These are your people that mask themselves. And when I'm talking about reptilians, people, yes, we are in the physical form, but their brain, what they choose to access inside of them is reptilian. Well, there's some people who really look reptilian. I'm not denying that. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is these particular people here are reptilian. Their thought process, their demeanor, their personality, how they act, how they feel. There is no care in their mind. All they care is about manipulation, destruction, and games. Because they think when they destruct things, they think it's not going to affect them because they have pushed down their will. They have hatred for this Mother Earth so bad.
Hold on,
And because they have hatred for this Mother Earth so bad, they are willing to go through the most disgust. Look at the thing they do. They kidnap children, they molest children, they rape women, they rape men. In the entertainment industry, all of these people you see in front of you who are having interviews that are entertainers are being molested and raped mentally and physically. And it's for their enjoyment. They do not care about their cries and screams and their concerns. They do not care about any of this. You know why? Because the energy from their cries and their fears is what they feed on. This is a sick demonic people. They created demonic. They created the Satan. They created the black magic. You dudes act like come on, man. You are not dumb. You are not intelligent. You are intelligent. You are not unintelligent. You are intelligent. You guys are cosmic being. The only reason they created this black magic is to eliminate the fact that they had to address the self, which is the creator. If you want to go like I'm doing this as an example, the creator they wanted to replace, and they replaced it with their black magic. They replaced it with their witchcraft, with their Satanism, because the Satan is you, because you conjured it up, because you did not want to address the mother and father about how you felt. So you tapped into the blood drinking, you tapped into the kidnapping, you tapped into the raping, you tapped into the molestation, and that happens in entertainment, and that happens in big business. And if you think it doesn't, the next time you go outside, look at a woman face. Look at a man face. Matter of fact, I'll make it better. Look at a handsome woman face or a handsome man face. Look at them. The ones that work for these big companies, look at them sometimes. And you look in their eyes. Look at the eyes. Don't look at their body. Look here. You tell me if they're happy. You tell me. Because this goes on.
So, y'all gotta find out those names on your own. This is what this is all about. It's called research. I can't give you everything, but I will give you some things. So, the Collin families, and this is one of the top 13. Remember, this is the third family we're going through. We went through Astor's, Bundy's, and now Collins. So, the Collins family is one of the most powerful families in the world, and yet has been able to hide their power and wealth. The Van Duyen family has also hidden themselves very well, but the Collins family is full of tantalizing clues, such as one Collins branch that I found in looking at genealogy family group sheets. This was a book that Gerald E. Collins drew up showing the Collins family and their relationship to the Barr family, who, according to his book, changed their name to Bauer. That is exactly what the Rothschilds' relative name Bauer did. The name Collins originated in the British Isles. In Ireland, it began as O'Collins, and in Scotland as Collins, spelled with a K. Today, a prominent figure in Wicca is the Wiccan reformer Collins with a K, Olllyns, whose name was originally Collins, Collins. Two significant Collins were Sarah Ann Collins and her older brother. Her older brother was a member of the Satanists who called themselves the Hellfire Club. He belonged to the Boston Hellfire Club. The Hellfire Club has been discussed in previous newsletters. It has been pointed out in the past articles how Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson were members of this purely satanic group who practiced satanic sexual occult rituals. Sarah Ann Collins was deeply attracted to the occult. Her family was generational witchcraft satanic family, but many of them wanted to abandon the occult. Besides not wanting to leave the old family traditions of witchcraft, Sarah did not want to marry the man her father tried to sell her to. Neither the arranged marriage nor forsaken witchcraft was for Sarah. She went to Scotland to get to the heart of learning the occult and became a leader in the oldest form of Wicca, the 11th, the, uh, the Elven path. Other traditional types of Wicca is the U.S. come from Ireland, Wales, and Greece. After the American Revolution, she left Scotland skilled in occult power and came back to the United States, where she formed her first covendom of Wicca. She and her brother were powerful Wiccans, and their descendants are a main group of Collins that practice Wicca and Satanism. A wild woman stabbed Sarah Ann Collins to death in a Boston store. What you have just received is the important link in tracing the satanic Collins bloodline. Sarah Ann
Why did she get stabbed?
Collins, and there were several Sarah Ann Collins in her day. It seems the name appealed to the Collins family. Is in turn a descendant of Francis Collins of the 17th century. Francis was the head of the family when it came over from England. The Todd family seems to have satanic undertones to it, even in the days just after the Revolutionary War. For instance, John Jacob Astor married Sarah Todd, who had a who had a fair amount of money attached to her. The Todd surname is not an extremely common name until one begins researching the conspiracy, and then it pops up with frequency. It is known that during the time of Civil War, the Collins bloodline went into the surnames of Todd and Putnam.
Putnam. So, do you guys hear how this? Did you, while she was reading that, did you even ask yourself the question, why did she get stabbed to death? Well, she got stabbed to death in the store. It said she got stabbed to death in the store. Nobody asked why she got stabbed to. Listen to me. You guys act like these people that be drinking blood and conjuring up all these fucking negative deities. Remember, they created this shit. All these fucking nastiness and evil spirits and stuff that they be conjuring up. You ain't think for 1 minute why she would have get stabbed to death if somebody seen her for what she really was and said, oh no. Or she could have been stabbed to death as a sacrifice. Because she read to you already previously that they'll sacrifice their own to keep that shit going.
Yeah. She was, what was it, Wicca?
Yeah, it's nothing different than now when you have parents that will sacrifice their children just to get money. The energy of it is the same. What does it matter with y'all? Let's get into this privilege thing real quick and then we can get the hell out of here. Privilege. Y'all have been looking at it the wrong way.
Very wrong. Don't feel bad about it.
Privilege means. She not bring it up. We gonna bring up culture and what was the other word? Empowerment.
Oh, empowerment.
Privilege means if I know you cannot keep up with someone else or something else. Okay? Because you just don't have the mental, the spiritual, or the physical capacity or capability to do it. You have the privilege of just going through the door in life. I got you. Just go ahead. I'll pay that way for you. Because if I ain't pay that way for you, you're going to have to actually show some skills.
Mm-hmm.
That's what privilege is. It's more offensive than it is a compliment. So when y'all talk about white privilege, Asian privilege, Spanish privilege, whatever, we know why we say it, some of us, but you really don't know what the word means. For those of you who embrace it, you need to understand and understand that they're telling you out of their own mouth, you can't mentally, spiritually, or physically keep up with these people, so we're allowing you to go ahead and get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And by you accepting that, going ahead, means that you also accepted that you're weak-minded, you weak-spirited, you can't keep up. It's a disrespect.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So stop with the word privilege. Culture now. I think you have went through that meaning already. And hold on, we about to, because I'm about to smash out before I get out of here. I wasn't gonna do the Saturday show.
Yeah, I was caught off guard.
But it was the impulse.
I'm with the impulse though. I'm with it. I'm with it.
Can
Y'all
you
with it? Y'all with it?
can you read what culture is?
Culture as a noun, the arts and other manifestation of human intellectual achievement regarded collectively. The
Good.
customs, art, social institution, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social group. The cultivation of bacteria to the yeah, we don't need to read that one.
The custom arts, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social group. So why the hell are y'all on social media making everything a damn culture? You don't even know what the word means? You so much into your phones, you forgot reading. I'm about to make all of y'all feel stupid and dumb. The arts and other manifestation of human intellectual achievement regarded collectively. The customs, arts, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social groups. That is a culture. There's no such thing as a cancel culture because it is not a particular nation, people, or other social group. Social media is not a group. It's called social media, not social group. I got you on your own terminology. You are not a nation. There's no such thing as cancel culture. There's no such thing as hate black man culture, black man versus black woman culture. And another thing, while we on it, black women, stop that shit that they promote into y'all on hating or being versus against black man. Because when they finish with their agenda, you are not a part of it. You back to being a nigga. Black man, you stop that shit too. Because they're not coming to anybody. They're not, again, when you go on your application, the only people who have color is black and white. Everybody else on the application, it says Asian. It says even Latin or Hispanic. It don't say brown. It don't say yellow. Don't say none of that shit. Your own country is telling you that those other nations are respected because we can call them by their name. But you two have a color and you still fighting like a dumbass. Huh? This is what's supposed to be taught on YouTube. Not this black group versus that black group, because this black group was really here in America first, and then this black group really came from Africa. That is setting up for separation and a war. And let me ask you this, family. We really hate each other like that? You really want to do that to each other? We really hate each other that much that we about to do this? You want to bang on each other? I'm not talking about gangs, man. I'm talking about these fake conscious people putting these things out and making it seem like they actually care. First, you was all about talking about being African, you know what I'm saying? And now we're not. We want to be American. And not even American, we're going to say that we're native. Even though some of our family is not native. And the ones that are still consider themselves to be a part of the whole dark family.
Yeah.
Dark, black, whatever you want to call it. This is dangerous. You mean to tell me, just answer this one. You really want to fight against your own for a name, for a title? For a title? We should be more than fight. We should be fighting for our people and land and our families. Those are the only three things we should be fighting for. You really mean to tell me you want to separate yourself by calling yourself this and that? I ain't gonna say the names. That's where we at now? Well, we're already hating each other. Yeah, because we were told to. You want to go down like that? Empowerment. Everything is not a goddamn empowerment. You know what empowerment mean? Huh? You know what empowerment mean? Everything you do is not a goddamn empowerment. My sisters and my brothers, stop taking on things that have nothing to do with you. Every day you should be empowered. You just being yourself is an empowerment. You putting on shoes and doing fashion and doing this and clicking that and inventing stuff is not an empowerment. It is a gift and a talent that you have. That's not an empowerment. Know what words mean. Stop using them to create a trend. It only brings you back down more in denial. So with that being said, guys, you know I'm going to end there. I'm going to see y'all Tuesday. All right? Peace out.